Alrighty. Hello, 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 hello. We are back with Aaron Shotkin versus Logan Gore. I've been looking forward to this match pretty much all day. And now I'm gonna get to watch it in action. So it looks like Logan is banning Aaron's Rogue, which is sort of expected. Kingsbane Rogue is really strong, gets a lot of Logan's decks, which leaves Aaron with Warrior, Warlock, and Priest. Logan has... What does Logan have? He has Druid, Priest, Logan's bringing a bunch of meme decks. He has Druid, Priest, Warrior, and I should just look up his lists. Druid, Priest, Warrior, and Mage. And we're currently just discussing matchups after Logan's Rogue ban. I should give this some publicity. Yes, Aaron going live after 6 p.m. My stream. Alright, so it looks like we're just waiting on Aaron's ban and then waiting for him to get into game. Looks like they're hanging out in the friend menu. So yeah. Anyways, this is a really exciting matchup because both players are bringing really unique decks. So Aaron Shotkin, after his Kingsbane Rogue got banned, has in his repertoire Spiteful Priest. No, not Spiteful Priest, he has troll names. Combo Dragon Priest, Dead Man's Hand Warrior, which is always really exciting, and it's a deck that he specializes in, and then Control Warlock, which hopefully we're not going to see too much of, because I hate Control Warlock. Meanwhile, Logan has Quest Mage, interestingly Taunt Warrior, which I watched him get 4 wins with a couple of days back. The Steal Everything Priest, which is his pride and joy, and his other pride and joy, Spiteful Druid, also known as the worst deck Dog has ever seen. Unfortunately, it looks like the Druid is getting banned, which is a shame, but this does mean that we have the potential of seeing Benedictus Priest against Dead Man's Hand Warrior. I really hope this happens. So let me just adjust the overlay real quick to reflect the fact that Logan's Spiteful, aka Tech, aka whatever you want to call it, Druid is banned. And let's hop into Spectator right now. And to start with, we're going to see a Priest Mirror. We're going to see the Steal Your Shit Priest versus Combo Dragons. Hopefully the spectator interface isn't bugging out on me. It looks like it's doing okay so far. And so we do see that Logan's running Skulking Geist, 1 copy, and he has it in his opening hand. This is obviously relevant against the Combo Priest because it removes the 2 Inner Fires, 2 Potion of Manuses, and 2 Forward Shields. The Inner Fires obviously are sort of the win condition for the Combo Priest, which revolves around the Divine Favor Inner Fire combo. However, we do see that Aaron is in fact running 1 copy of the Crazed Alchemist, presumably to be able to deal with the fact that Skulking Geist. So we see to start with, Logan gets 3 pretty good dragons off his Discover, and I think he's currently thinking about whether or not he wants to go with Deathwing as a panic button versus Scalebane as a solid mid-range body. Obviously, this very heavy priest deck from Logan should be favored to win in the late game, so it looks like he's going to go for sort of a slightly earlier or I guess mid-range drop that he can potentially use. And Aaron here has a draw engine going with 2 Northshire clerics. Unfortunately, there was potentially a play where Logan would be able to overdraw Aaron, but he does not in fact have enough heals to do so. And he's just gonna opt for a Duskbreaker to get rid of these medicine insects. We'll see if Aaron chooses to counter Duskbreaker or play Dark Reaper instead. Looks like he's gonna do neither and just dig for answers with Shadow Vision. Divine Spirit rather. This is not the overpowered Paladin draw card. Divine Spirit is here to, well, draw a card. I mean, no, it's not here to draw cards. This is in fact not Paladin. This is the win condition for the combo priest deck, where you make a high health minion higher health and then smash him in the face for whatever you made it with either Inner Fire or Crazed Alchemist buffs. We see one of Logan's tech acidic swamp oozes. He runs 2 oozes and a Harrison. He played on curve this as pretty much Bloodfen Raptor because there are no weapons in either decks. See some Doctor OPs coming out soon, or coming out here. I think Logan's gonna go for a Twilight Acolyte. Yep, he is. That's really good synergy with this deck. But I think he might regret not picking the Silence soon when this Twilight Drake comes out. Letter Spy Historian's a really good pickup over the counter from the counter Doctor OP. It's a card that did a lot of work. And Snow King Geist comes down. This both reduces Aaron's hand size and obviously gets rid of the Inner Fires. Ooh, more Draconid Operative. So Draconid Operative is obviously a ridiculously powerful card in this or any matchup. But unfortunately, we don't see Dr. OP pulling what I hoped, which is Archbishop Benedictus. That would have been a lot of fun. Dragonfire is sort of irrelevant in this matchup because both players, well, don't have dragons, or rather only have, or mostly have dragons. That's not going to clear very much. But Harrison's not a particularly great draw either. Aaron does go for the Dragonfire just because there's the chance that he can clear out some stuff like Twilight Acolytes and Cabal Shadow Priests, and that might be worth it. Over on Logan's side, you see 2 pretty dead Dragonfires in his hand that aren't going to accomplish very much, and he's going to go for Twilight Acolytes to get rid of the attack of, and neuter both of these Draconid Operatives, it looks like. He placed the discovered one first, which is a mistake unless he's going to play the other one, because you never want to give them the information prematurely of what cards you're discovering from their deck. I think we're probably going to see... I mean, this is pretty much as good as Dragonfire gets here for Aaron, and it is what he's going for. Makes sense, there aren't that many non-dragons for him to kill otherwise. And he maintains control of the board and a 6 health minion, which is about to get stolen by Cabal Shadow Priest. Unfortunate. 3 Dragonfire potions in Logan's hand. These are such dead cards. I think we're probably going to see Twilight Drake come down after Shadow Visions. A 3rd Divine Spirit. So we are going to see, if Aaron can draw his Crazed Alchemist and stick a minion, we are going to see, well, a crazy OTK. We have yet another Draconid Operative. I've lost count of how many that is from Logan Gore. And he's going to pull yet another Draconid Operative, most likely. Oh man, that's disgusting. Brings back bad memories. Logan right now understands the importance of lowering the HP of the Twilight Drake, I think. But little does he know, with 3 Divine Spirits, even lowering it to 4 HP is not going to stop him from dying if Aaron hits the 1 in 12 and draws his Crazed Alchemist. And he does in fact opt to chunk down the Twilight Drake just a little bit. We'll see if Aaron can pull that 1 in 12 for lethal. That would be disgusting. And he, unfortunately for him, fortunately for Logan, does not pull that. And now he has to think about his next play. I think he's thinking about Mass Dispel to dig deeper into his deck, but that is putting him in a position where he's falling further and further behind on the board. Instead, he's going to use Twilight Acolyte to weaken one of the Draconid operatives and then continue pushing face.
Not quite what was planned.
And he realizes that he misordered it, except he might be bluffing that this is the only dragon in his hand and he needed to activate Twilight Acolyte. I don't know how deep the mind games go. In any case, Logan this time does not manage to pull yet another Draconid operative. And he's debating, yep, Cabal Talon Priest is just the most stats. Radiant Elemental is super useful with most of the spells in his deck. Don't benefit that much from the Radiant treatment, whereas Cabal Talon Priest at least is a good bucket of bucket of stats. We see that once again, Aaron has preserved enough stuff on board that if he does draw that Crazed Alchemist, that is immediately lethal. In fact, he has enough that he should be able to get lethal with Mass Dispel drawing into Crazed Alchemist, so he has 2 draws into 2 Divine Spirits and a flip. That adds up to 10 mana, and that would be, even if this gets chunked down to 4 health, would be 16 plus 5 damage, which is in fact lethal.
You wish to live forever.
So Aaron has 2 chances for lethal before this operative army chunks him down. So Radiant Elemental is a nice draw. It gives him, I guess, another body to put on board, and it pays for itself because if he plays that and then cycles and he gets the Alchemist, he can still play the Divine Spirits. Although I think he's doing the math and realizes that Mass Dispel gets you lethal anyways if it pulls the 1 in 10 for Alchemist. And I guess that's what he's thinking about. This, unfortunately, Mass Dispel does also restore these Draconid operatives back to 5 attack, which means that if this does not pull the Alchemist, he is in a really bad spot. Although, looking at this board, it's unlikely he's going to win anyways if he doesn't get the Alchemist. He doesn't. Draconid Operative is not a terrible pull, but at this point, it's looking sort of rough, to be honest. It looks like he's going to try to clear off some of the board. Oops, that is not what I meant to do until after the Logan Aaron series. Cool, so it looks like I have my own round 2, so round of 8 match queued up after this game, which is nice. Once again, 6, 12, 24. Aaron has lethal if he draws the if he draws the, what's that thing called? Man, I cannot think right now. If he draws his Crazed Alchemist, he does not. However, Draconid Operative is a good pull. It lets him clear off one of the minions. And I think you play Dr. OP right now, just to have another body on board. Instead, he's going to go for the Radiant, and I think this is going to be Logan going, wow, this is the best Dragonfire I'm going to get this game for sure. No, is he not doing it? Is he thinking about Shadow Reaper Anduin? I'm not entirely sure I understand this potential line of play from Logan here. I think this is by far the best value you're going to get from Dragonfire all game, and you have 3 of them in your hand. And yep, looks like that is what he's going to go for. He sweeps the board with Dragonfire, and if Aaron gets his Alchemist now, he's going to feel really regretful about not playing that operative last turn. He does not. We might see Draconid Operative Cabal Talon Priest. Logan does, however, have a clear over here in trading the Kobold Scalebane into the 3/4 and playing Shadow Reaper Anduin, which will kill off both the 5 attack minions. Gonna see if that's what Logan goes for, or if he is too addicted to the pool of Archbishop Benedictus. No, Logan, heal first. What are you doing? It's not worth the ping. I guess he might want to follow up with the Doomsayer, knowing that there's no more Potion of Madnesses in the game, thanks to Smoking Geist, and yeah, that is what he's gonna go for. And Aaron now has 4 Divine Spirits. He still can't pull his 1 copy of Crazed Alchemist. I think he's really starting to wish that he had 2. Benedictus does come out, pulling all 6 cards into Logan's deck, and this is looking really good for Logan. As long as he doesn't let a minion stick, I think Aaron has to know he cannot play the Talon Priest right now. And he does know this. Yeah, we're just gonna see Logan slowly chunk Aaron down while trying to stay out of range. Obviously with 4 Divine Spirits, pretty much any minion he leaves alive is going to OTK him, but he doesn't know that. And look, and Aaron still can't draw the Crazed Alchemist. I think he's starting to wonder whether or not he left it out of his deck. His bottom 4 cards is just very unfortunate for him. And Logan's continuing just to put in damage. Mind Control is another great draw. It's gonna let him continue to essentially clear Aaron's side of any minions. We have from time to time seen Stormwind Knight techs in these combo decks. It's good in select few matchups, but it does sort of hurt the consistency, and it's not particularly popular. And obviously this doesn't exist in Aaron's deck. I think Aaron right by now is wondering whether or not he has any win conditions left. I believe his deck still has 1 Crazed Alchemist, like
Once upon a time.
1 Operative maybe? I really don't know. And we see Aaron starting to commit some Divine Spirits just to try to protect some of his minions. I think we're going to see the 4-6 into the 3-4 and Mind Control on the 1-12 just to keep this board clean up. Actually, never mind. This is a much better play. He silences the 1-12 so that he can clear with Benedictus without taking much damage, and uses the Machine Gun Hero power to clear off the Talon Priest. I think Aaron at this point is, well, out of outs. He's just gonna go for a really big Radiant Elemental that he hopes cannot get cleared or mind controlled, but I think this is about to be the end once Logan just yoinks that from him, and that is probably going to be game 1 right there. Logan continues his reign of terror with... And oh my gosh, Crazed Alchemist as the very bottom card of his deck. That is very unfortunate for Aaron here. And so that is the Priest for Aaron eliminated. And Logan up 1-0. That just goes to show the power of one-offs. Logan got his one-off Skulking Geist early, and that pretty much won the game for him right there because Aaron couldn't get his one-off of Crazed Alchemist. It's just how the chips fall sometimes. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. Sometimes the Crazed Alchemist is just the bottom card of your deck. Gotta stay hydrated. This is gonna be a long stream probably, since I'm gonna have my match afterwards, and I think more and more people are going to be playing once the evening hits. Might take a short break for dinner at some point, but we'll see how this goes. And while we wait for game 2, I think Aaron's just deciding what deck he wants to queue up. One question that's been on my mind all week, and I had some discussions with Logan about this, is whether or not Aaron's Dead Man's Hand Warrior can beat Benedictus Priest. Logan seems convinced that his Priest can in fact outlast the Dead Man's Hand Warrior, but I've seen, well, I'm not particularly experienced in this matchup, and Aaron is the best Dead Man Hand player I know. I don't count Dog, I don't know Dog. And so I'm sort of excited to see how this goes. And so it looks like there's some discussions between Logan and Aaron. Aaron asks, "Are you free for the next 3 hours?" Logan responds, "Yes," and Aaron says, "Okay, I'm going Warrior then." This is gonna be a good one. I really hope this doesn't end up in a draw, because a draw means a regame, which means, well, more games. And we might be stuck here for quite a while. Just for the stream's sake, I will pull up Aaron's Deadman Hand Warrior. You can see the deck list on the left side now. And we are, in fact, going to see Benedictus Priest against Deadman's Hand Warrior. This is going to be a good one. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Deadman's Hand Warrior is probably the deck that Aaron's, I guess, most experienced with. And we'll see whether or not he can use Dirty Rat and or Coldlight Oracles to either mill or pull the Benedictus. If not, this could get really interesting. So far in this tournament, Aaron in the group stages used the Deadman's Hand Warrior to defeat David Nguyen in 3 games in a row in what was considered by some to be an upset victory, because David was the champion of the last Hearthstone at Facebook series. Logan goes with the traditional "The Light Shall Burn You," heal opponent's face and pass, and let's grab a hot mug of tea and settle in for a long one. The good old control turn 2 hero power, hero power. Logan opts not to hero power on turn 3 after my thanks from Aaron, while Aaron is continuing to armor up. Sure, we're all missing the good old days of Welcome to the Grand Resident Sleeper and Tank Up, but even so, we're going to see Aaron slowly armor up. And he does continue to armor up. He has 9 cards in hand. He's not afraid of overdrawing because he knows that there's no way for the priests to force him to draw. Although now he's going to be wondering whether or not the priest managed to pull Coldlight Oracle. And we'll see if in response, and also trying to deal with the Draconet Operative, Aaron does in fact burn some cards. Starts off by slamming the Draconet, trying to see if he can draw into something, and he's just going to go ahead and execute it. Those 9 cards in hand, it looks like he's not afraid of the potential Coldlight Oracle from Draconet Operative, and it turns out to be a justified play because Logan shows that he got shield blocked. Dirty Rat into Doomsayer is always a strong play, but unfortunately he pulls the weakest of the minions. Probably in Logan's deck, Acidic Swampus. He would have loved to pull something else. Netherspite Historian's a value generator. Twilight Acolyte, I guess, is pretty dead in this matchup, and so is Breaker. Draconet Operative would have been a great pull. Skulking Geist would have been alright, but obviously the big ones would be Primordial Drake and Archbishop Benedictus. Alas, he does not get any of that, and Netherspite Historian pulls him a Draconet Operative, which he's going to use to pick up Coldlight Oracle. Come on, do it, Logan. And he does go for the Coldlight Oracle. Let's see if Aaron starts playing around the Coldlight now, or if he's going to get burned. We could potentially see Deadman's Hand getting milled, and that would be totally brutal.
Nice little raptors.
So Aaron does dump 2 cards with the Corner Sentry Bloodrazor combo, and he's gonna dump Sleep with the Fishes too, putting him at 7 cards. Well played by Aaron.
My master will return.
Oh, and that's an early Archbishop Benedictus by Logan, only pulling one of the 2 Deadman's Hands. We're gonna see if he's gonna come to regret this later on. Aaron's drawing some cards. Be aware that there is still the Coldlight Oracle in Logan's hand. Aaron chooses to draw some more cards, but he has both Deadman's Hands now, so he's much less worried than he was before. He might even opt for the Coldlight Oracle. If I'm counting correctly, that's 8 cards in Logan's hand right now. But no, he's gonna hold out on that for a bit. Potion of Madness into the Acolyte of Pain, into Coldlight Oracle, and Logan is going to try to overdraw Aaron. He's gonna force 2 burns. But Aaron picks up everything he needs. He loses an Execute, and I wonder what he's gonna lose next turn. But with both Deadman's Hands, Coldlight Oracle, and Bring It On in his hand, he's really only scared of losing like Scourge Lord Garrosh. Brawl is not a particularly harmful burn, and I think Aaron is breathing a bit of a sigh of relief that he didn't get punished nearly as hard as he could have. It is funny to see 32 cards in the Priest deck right now, though. So Aaron just tosses away a Battle Rage to free up hand space, and then uses his own Coldlight Oracle to try to burn some stuff from Logan's deck. obviously Logan still has 30 cards in his deck, and means he's not gonna have all that much. Aaron here is just playing some whirlwinds, playing cards to essentially get rid of them from his hand, and he's trying to build the perfect Deadman's Hand package to win this game. And I'm starting to think that Aaron has a pretty good chance of taking this, even though Logan still has 29 cards in his deck. Shadow Reaper Anduin comes out just for damaging hero power, which actually does something right now as opposed to heals. And you see Logan is also cognizant of the potential Godlike Oracle threat as he dumps the Silence just to be able to clear some hand space. He's down to 7? No, he's down to 8 cards in hand. So Godlike would still burn a card, but it's not nearly as important. Aaron has played both Whirlwinds and his one copy of Shield Slam, resulting in him having no more 1 mana spells. And then he's gonna follow up with Skulking Geist, which clears clears 2 Whirlwinds. A Whirlwind from Logan's hand, a Whirlwind from Logan's deck, and a Shield Slam from Logan's deck. I got confused there for a second. But that is the fun of Archbishop Benedictus. And Logan's now doing fun Deadman's Hand Warriors thing and gaining a very large amount of armor. But I don't know, I feel like right now I have to feel like Aaron is favored in this matchup. Drops the Acolyte of Pain, just bulking up a little more and slowly building towards that inexorable Deadman's Hand package of what's probably going to be 2 Deadman's Hands, a Kodalite Oracle. He still needs to draw Scourge Lord Garrosh and get that into play, but he's probably looking for 2 Deadman's Hand, a Kodalite Oracle, some Whirlwind effects, so probably Blood Razor, Fishies, and something like that. I believe he's out of Executes, and he's also out of Brawl, so he doesn't have anything to remove particularly large boards, but with Fishies and a Whirlwind effect, I guess Scourge Lord Garrosh is also a Whirlwind effect. In his package with Bring It On, he should be able to outlast any amount of pressure that Logan can put on. Logan's using Psychic Scream right now, his 1 copy, to add some additional trash to Aaron's deck, but Aaron picks up the Scourge Lord Garrosh he was looking for and immediately plays it. Unfortunately, the 4/3 weapon, I don't remember what it's called, it's like Cloak? Which is one of the Shadow Morn, one of the strongest weapons in the game, is about to get Harrison Jones'd. But in a way, I don't think Aaron cares that much. Aaron's just like, alright, draw some more cards, just gonna make it easier for me to slowly mill you to death. We're gonna see what Aaron chooses to go for here. I guess he's just slowly going to delay and try to build into the optimal Deadman's Hand package. And you have to feel like Aaron is favored at this point. Logan just hasn't put on enough pressure, and Aaron is getting slowly closer and closer to that inexorable inevitability. If I'm correct, his deck still has 1 Acolyte of Pain and 2 more Dry Whisker Armorers, and he does opt to just Deadman's Hand now. He chooses to include Dirty Rat in at least his first Deadman's Hand package, which is interesting. Currently pulls Primordial Drake, which is probably the worst midi in the pool right now. He definitely would have hoped for like another Nerds by Historian or something. Or the Cold Oracle. Sorry. Throat getting a little dry. And it's nice to see a couple of people in chat, even if some of them are just my friends trolling me and being mad that I ditched their main Counter-Strike to watch this or do this instead. But I promise it's for a good cause. Aaron pulls Acolyte of Pain, which is a card draw, and he's probably going to go for a Hero Power Fishies. He still has a Fishies, a Bring It On, and Dirty Rat, as well as another Code Light in his deck. He does pull the Fishies right now. Pulls Blood Razor. I really wish I had my deck tracker right now. Should have had it open because I'm losing track of what Aaron has left in his deck. I think there's another Slam in there too. And Logan's down to 19 cards in deck. He does have Deadman's Hand in hand, so Logan might be trying to do fun things too. But as we remembered, he pulled the Deadman's Hand when pulled the Dead Man's Hand on Archbishop Benedictus when Aaron only had one Dead Man's Hand left in his deck, so this is the only Dead Man's Hand that Logan's gonna get. Unless he manages to, I think he still has a Draconid Operative, maybe 2 in his deck, so there's a possibility he steals it from the DMH package later on from Aaron, but that's obviously less reliable. Right now, Logan's just dumping resources and trying to push a little bit of damage into Aaron, but Aaron's still got plenty of health remaining. And with Bring It On as Dead Man's Hand package, he's gonna, well, remain fairly healthy. Oh, interesting, he still has Shield Block in his deck. He's gonna clear that out. He doesn't need that. And looks like he's gonna immediately Dead Man's Hand again. So I believe there are now 2 Code Light Oracles in his deck with 1 Dead Man's Hand, 2 Dirty Rats, and some stuff. It's really hard to keep track, I'll be honest. He's gonna go for the fishies to clear out the board. And he is also going to Code Light Oracle. Excellent. And he draws into another Code Light and a Dirty Rat. Got a question in chat from Pools Now 7 asking why this deck is called Rafam version 2. It's called Rafam version 2 because, just like Rafam, I like this deck. I think I'm going to take it. Or that's the idea. With Archbishop Benedictus, all of the Draconid Operatives, and Mind Controls. Logan is trying to steal as much of the deck as possible, although we see that he didn't manage to get the full Dead Man's Hand experience. Aaron continues to draw. He has 1 more Code Light Oracle in his deck, along with, I believe, Sleep with the Fishes and a second Dead Man's Hand. And that's a Draconid Operative burned. That is a very, very big deal. Logan still doesn't have a Draconid Operative. He's going to use his 1 copy of Dead Man's Hand to shuffle what is honestly a fairly mediocre hand in his deck, and I have to think at this point that Aaron has this game on lockdown unless Logan pulls off some miracles with the fairly lacking resources he has remaining. And I'm getting raided by my friends. Feels good, man.
Strong and shiny! Special! Strong and shiny!
So, Aaron's just gonna casually gain a bunch of armor. Whirlwind his 2-1s afterwards for reasons. I don't know. Maybe it's so that if they get stolen by Shadow? I have no idea. Maybe he just wants them dead. At this point, I'm not sure it matters. Aaron's in a pretty dominating position. We're gonna see a Dustbreaker come down just as a 3-3 potentially from Logan. Like this has gotta feel bad if you're Logan. I think he's starting to become aware of that inexorable doom, and as long as Aaron doesn't misplay, I'm not sure I see how Logan can win this. Aaron's remaining cards in his deck are, of course, Dead Man's Hand and the last Code Light Oracle, and he's gonna wait until he pulls the Code Light Oracle before Dead Man's Handing. At 14 health, you have to feel a little concerned that you're gonna get Machine Gunned down by the hero power, but Void Form being 2 mana, it's unlikely it's gonna happen. I think this is the entire package that Aaron wants to keep a hold on, and it looks like it is. He's just gonna pass and wait until he draws that Code Light again. Oh, Code Light Oracle, that's a big draw from Logan. Can he fatigue Aaron to death? Aaron's gonna take 2 more fatigue damage. Puts him on 7 effective health, and no. Close, but no cigar. Gonna take 2 damage, he's gonna be on 7 health, but now it's gonna be an easy Dead Man's Hand, Bring It On, Code Light Oracle, I believe. Definitely start with Dead Man's Hand, follow up with Bring It On, yep. So we do see that there are a lot of minions that are getting discounted from this, and this could potentially let Logan get a big damage push later on. So we'll have to see how this one shapes out. Sleep with the Fishes, potentially to clear out these minions. They're pretty small minions. I don't know if you want to do that, Logan. Aaron, I feel like you want to hold that for, well, all of the things here that he can't see. I think Aaron might be deciding that discretion is the better part of valor.
Time passes.
And with 5 cards in his deck, he definitely isn't guaranteed to draw into anything. He is gonna go for the
I
Code
must
Light. Yep, he is gonna opt to go for the Code Light, and he draws a Code Light. He burns some irrelevant Duskbreakers from Logan's deck. Also pulls the second Fishes, which could be a big deal here. This Code Light means that, I guess it doesn't mean much because he needs to shuffle it back in with Deadman's Hand. And Logan's just gonna try to keep pounding in damage with Void Form Hero Power. I can definitely still see a world in which Logan wins this. I think I might have called this game too early, a little earlier, because he's repeated Void Form pushes do hurt. Although Logan clearing his own board with Duskbreaker here is a little interesting. I think he might not have realized that well, the brawl's already gone. Dirty Rat pulling Primordial Drake.
Hey, speak to me.
Second Rat pulling Acolyte, and Aaron's happy to dumpster most of this board with Fishies. And he's still preserving the core 5 package for his Deadman's Hand. Unfortunately, he needs to survive 2 turns here to draw into his remaining Deadman's Hand and bring it on, and this could prove to be a little difficult for him. I think he's running out of time. Logan can get in. Wow, Logan just won. Yep. Well played by Logan indeed. He manages to, with the Benedictus, get enough cards in his deck rather to, well, be able to slowly chip down Demon's Hand Warrior. Goes to show that my understanding of this matchup is, in fact, extremely limited as an aggro player. And Logan goes up 2-0. Well played indeed. And with the Warrior gone, Aaron's just down to Control Warlock. And from what I've heard from Logan, Logan's very prepared to deal with the Control Warlock. He's been playing a lot of this, what he calls Rafan V2 or Steal Your Shit Priest on ladder. And I mean, he has some really devastating replays that he's shown me of games where he's just stolen all of the material from the Warlock player and denied them any semblance of being able to being able to snowball. And yeah. Otherwise, Logan does have his Taunt Warrior, which is probably unfavored against Control Warlock, but honestly, who knows? And his Quest Mage, which should theoretically beat Control Warlock unless like Rin burns the combo, I guess. Let's switch up the deck lists, make sure that I have Aaron's Control Warlock on cheekily named Zoo on screen. And oh, he isn't actually running Rin. This is Cube Block, never mind. I thought this was the tankier Control Warlock variant, but no, he's running cubes. So he totally has potential to just snowball out of control with crazy Doomguard combos and just insta-win against any of Logan's decks. And so let's not count out the potential of a reverse sweep all this also soon. But this Priest has really been putting in work for Logan. I wonder if Aaron is now regretting that he banned the Spiteful Druid, which, while a strong deck, might not quite have the outlast potential that this Priest does. Aaron pulls what's a reasonable starting hand. He's going to be able to get turn 4 Molten Giant with 2 taps, I believe. And then turn 5 Skull of the Minari, which unfortunately, as we can see, is going to get Harrison Jones, but he doesn't know that yet. We're probably going to see, yeah, Global Librarian and tap. It's going to bring the Molten Giant down to 4 mana for turn 4, which is obviously a great outcome for Aaron. We do see a Twilight Acolyte in Logan's hand that he's going to be able to use to blunt the attack of this Mountain Giant. But we also see that there's no Cabal Shadow Priest follow-up. Mountain Giant does come down, and it is a threat that needs to be dealt with immediately. And the Twilight Acolyte does come out immediately to deal with it. Suddenly 8 attack on that Acolyte. It's gotta feel a little bad. I wonder if there's some interesting plays later on where Aaron can silence his own Mountain Giant to bring it back to 8 attack. But for now, he has to be thinking about how do I deal with this Twilight Acolyte. You don't want to leave that alive. I think he's going to go for interesting. Hellfire Mortal Coil. That does upgrade his Spellstone up to 7 damage. And I guess he didn't want to waste the Spellstone too early. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. We see Coin Geist getting rid of both Doom Pacts, which is or Dark Pacts rather, and the remaining Mortal Coil from Aaron's deck. This does get rid of the Potion of Madness, which has utility in like stealing Void Lords later on. But right now, Logan's got to be focused on just survival, and this is looking pretty difficult right now. Greater Healing Potion does help delay for a turn, which looks like he's probably gonna go for a Nether Spite into Healing Potion. And he picks the Alexstrasza, which is an interesting choice. I wonder if he would have been better off just going for the Fairy Dragon as a smaller minion, or cheaper minion rather, that can contest board. But with the Alex, I guess it does give him a little more sustain in the late game. Skull of the Monari is coming and is probably going to get Harrisoned. But if that happens, I mean, he's still pushing in damage over and over with this 8 attack Mountain Giant. And with Doomguard in hand and all of that, Aaron definitely has a lot of potential burst. Hellfire Doomguard is 8 damage from hand once he gets to turn 9. In the meantime, Shadow Visions from Logan, I believe he's going to go for Psychic Scream. It's the best delay option he has. And that is in fact what he goes for. Is that? No, that's 9 cards in hand. I think if you're Aaron here, you definitely drop that Mountain Giant. Logan's already shown that he can't deal with the first one. And the Spellstone can take out the Harrison. The only thing that clears out 2 Mountain Giants is Psychic Scream, which obviously we do see in Logan's hand, but Aaron can't possibly know that, and he does go for the Mountain Giant. Perfectly good play in my opinion. We're probably going to see a Snap Psychic Scream here. It's the only thing that keeps Logan alive, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't have the mana to go for any Duskbreaker or Dragonfire related clears, and he does do that. Psychic Scream has a bonus of diluting Logan's or Aaron's deck a little bit with the Nether Spite Historian, which is pretty much useless in this deck. Cube is drawn. He just pushes out the Doomguard, which discards some irrelevant stuff, and taps into another Doomguard. This is gonna be... well, this could be game. So Logan can technically survive the first Doomguard. Primordial Drake puts up enough of a wall to tank, and then in turn, or he can just Alexstrasza to 15 health. But if you do that, you have to be worried about Carnivorous Cube and
consider.
Well, yeah, Carnivorous Cube. Although it doesn't look like Aaron has the ability to pop his own cube right now. Dark Pack's gone from his deck. Oh, never mind. Faceless Doomguard is lethal. Nope. Order. Okay, Aaron does it correctly, and Aaron pulls through in game 3. Finally dealing with this priest deck that has been troubling him so long from Logan. That is Aaron 1, Logan 2. And I expect Logan's probably just gonna pull out the Quest Mage, which should theoretically be able to deal with this Warlock deck. Again, I have no idea how Taunt Warriors matchups go against this Control Warlock, because we haven't seen a Taunt Warrior since, well, 2017, Journey to Ungaro meta.
Gul'dan versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! Your soul shall be mine!
And we got Logan watching the stream, which BM Logan, and commenting that he played the Duskbreaker because he thought that Aaron shuffled the Dry Whisker armor to gain 2 armor for each enemy minion. That makes sense.
Side effects.
We do in fact see the Taunt Warrior come out from Logan. Again, I have no idea how this matchup is going to pan out, but we see another reasonably strong hand from Aaron, except for the lack of a Demon to pull from Monari. Nope, found it right there. With a cute and a Faceless in hand, and Oh, I have the wrong deck list up too. That's unfortunate. There we go. That's the Taunt Warrior deck list. And this is the standard early game of tap and armor up. Sorry, got a bit of the hiccups.
Trust me.
And 2 Mistress of Mixtures early to, I guess, contest board. Probably gonna trade both them into this Bladed Beetle. Not particularly relevant. I wonder here if you're Aaron, knowing that there is no weapon hate in this Taunt Warrior deck, and yeah, he goes for the Coin Skill of the Manari, which is what I was about to hypothesize.
You summoned me to.
And so that's gonna be able to pull a Void Lord. He's gonna be able to cube it, double faceless it. This has the potential to get really ugly really quickly. See that this Taunt Warrior deck runs 2 brawls, but and 2 executes, but it has otherwise somewhat limited AoE, and also it doesn't have any silence effects. So these Void Lords are gonna go sort of unchecked.
Very useful.
So we'll see what Aaron chooses to go here with this Void Lord, whether he just cubes it immediately, and it looks like he's about to, seeing that there is no silence available to Logan. So that scores up 2 more Void Lords for him. Logan rather, is not particularly pleased with this turn of events, but what can you do? Draws the Doomguard 1 turn too late to get it pulled from the cube, and I wonder if he's thinking that he should have saved the cube for the Doomguards instead. Wonder if Aaron's gonna pop his cube. I don't think there's any particular necessity for him to do so, since Logan's probably gonna do it for him. But looks like he might use Defile just to clear this gem stud and kill him, and also damage his own Void Lords a little bit by accident in the process. We do see that Logan's holding on to 1 brawl, which has the potential of clearing some of the big Warlock boards. But I think a player of Aaron's experience understands not to overextend into brawl here.
There is a method to my madness.
That being said, with the Doomguard pulled, we'll see if he opts to go for any particular facelesses. If he does not, he instead goes for the conservative Hellfire Mortal Coil to clear the opposing board, and taps instead of playing the Cobalt Librarian so that whatever survives the brawl, if it's his minion, will be a fairly strong one. On the other side, Logan is gonna execute one of the Void Lords to create some less strong minions for the brawl to potentially hit, and then go for the brawl. We've seen Logan definitely get some ludicrously good brawl luck in the past, but in this case, Doomguard survives, which is a really big deal here. While there's no second cube yet from Aaron, which could theoretically end the game very quickly, he pulls a Mountain Giant, which is another big threat that has to be addressed. He's going to be able to resummon a lot of things later on with Godan, with N'Zoth. Never mind, he doesn't run N'Zoth with Godan. And so, right now, looks like Aaron's just content to press some face damage and potentially play around the second brawl. He's going for a faceless to push in even more face damage. Face manipulator. Logan's not going to be able to clear this board. He can get fairly close to the Primordial Drake, so the Doomguards are going to survive on 1 health. And the Spellstone, yeah, that's going to be the game right there. Aaron can go Cobalt Librarian, Spellstone, Mortal Coil to clear out the Primordial Drake from the way, and that's going to be easy lethal. Or he can just spell break it, even easier. Sometimes I miss the easy solutions here. And Aaron with the ultra strong Q block equalizes the series 2 games apiece. And so we're gonna see finally Warlock versus Quest Mage. I'm interested to see interested in why Logan didn't queue up the Quest Mage last game, and perhaps the matchup is worse for him than I thought it was. Maybe the Doomguards do in fact just press too much damage too quickly for a quest mage to deal with, but it's hard for me to say. I personally do not play Control Warlock or Q Block or Quest Mage, and so I don't have any first-hand experience with this matchup. Also, I haven't watched all that many tournaments in this meta, so that also doesn't help my game knowledge.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You
Yep,
asked for it.
yep, J-Lao. One more
Soul
game.
shall be
One more
mine.
game. And we are going to see one last game. Series tied 2-2, Warlock versus Mage. Aaron has Mountain Giant for opening hand, which means that he can turn 2 tap, turn 3 tap, turn 4 Mountain Giant, which is always a strong play. While Logan is pulling a good amount of draw and a Code Light Oracle, which could prove really dangerous if Aaron overtaps here. We could see some really big burns going on. Aaron is going to tap to 8 cards, resulting in a 4 mana Mountain Giant next turn. For those less experienced, no, you cannot coin Mountain Giant because playing the coin will increase the Mountain Giant's cost by 1, which is very unfortunate. And I think Aaron's probably just going to pass here because obviously you don't want to tap into 10. And the Code Light Oracle is going to be able to overdraw him by 2 cards if you include his turn 4 draw. Let's see what it burns. It burns a Doom Guard that's really big. We do see the other ones in Aaron's hand. Luckily, Mortal Coil is not a big burn at all here, and he does get the Mountain Giant out. Logan has not drawn his second Code Light Oracle yet, so he doesn't have the option of using that to overdraw even more cards. But we see he already has Antonidas, Molten Reflection, and 1 Sorcerer's Apprentice, which puts him at 3 out of 5 cards required for the combo. He is, however, 0 out of 6 cards to activate Open the Way Gate, and so he still has a way to go there. Ice Barrier cancels out the first Mountain Giant attack, and we're probably going to see some Lackey action going on here to try to... Aaron?
Whoops.
Aaron? He taps to take 2 damage for no reason and burn a cube. I don't think that's what he was trying to go for there. That is very unfortunate, Aaron. He, I guess, miscounted the number of cards he had in his hand, or thought that he was going to coin Hellfire to 8 cards and tap to 9 and then messed up the order because people are used to, you know, tap last lol. We see Doomsayer Frost Nova to try to clear out this Mountain Giant, and we're probably going to see it in response to Spellbreaker. It's a little interesting to see whether or not he's going to just Spellbreak his own Mountain Giant to push 8 damage, or whether he's going to Spellbreak the Doomsayer. Opts to Spellbreak the Doomsayer, which leaves a 0-7 body on board. We'll see whether or not that's the correct decision or not. I personally think it doesn't matter, but I think there is maybe a universe where you force enough random bodies on this mage board to like block combo, but I don't think so. We see Arcane Artificer, which is a one-off in Logan's deck, as an option to gain some armor, and he pulls off his first Kabbalist Tome, which is starting to get him towards quest completion. Gets Firebolt and Frostbolt off the Kabbalist Tome. This could be huge, given that, see, Aaron's only on 13 HP. Like, there's definitely a world in which, well, he just straight up dies here. Goes for a Defile Clear, which, again, I have no idea if this is the correct play or not. But it looks sort of sketchy. I wonder if it would have been better just to use his minions to get through the mirror images rather than doing that. This does enable him to push 8 damage to face, but the mage here is still on 25 health. And with the Ice Block and another Doomsayer coming up, Aaron doesn't have great opportunities to push damage. He has Cabal Lackeys that he can play, except we can see that the Cabal Lackeys aren't going to pull anything because both of his Void Lords and 1 Doomguard are already in hand. Aaron overtaps again. What is happening? This is very uncharacteristic of Aaron. I'm not sure what's going on here. It's sort of unfortunate to see him, I guess, going on tilt, and as he says himself, he's playing so bad. It's unfortunate to see him going on tilt like this and making misplay after he played so well in previous series. Logan here goes for a second Kabbalist Tome, pulls some pretty useless stuff, but Simulacrum, never mind. Simulacrum gets him that second Sorcerer's Apprentice, but puts him all that closer to completing his quest. Although, that does mean that he has 9 cards in hand now. He does...
Dare summon me.
Wow, brutal. Doomguard discards Carnivorous Cube and Void Lord, which means he's now out of cubes also. He was obviously hoping for like Cabal Lackey discards or something, and at 13 health he's again in sort of danger. So the Simulacrum that he got from Kabbalah's Tome makes him mill another Simulacrum. Sure, Logan's perfectly fine with this. And yeah, he's gonna dump a Flame Strike just to clear some hand space. Maybe play the Spellbender while he can. Again, he has 9 damage in hand, and anytime he draws that second or if he discovers another Fireball rather, he could totally just win this game without ever completing the quest, which is sorta crazy. Instead, he goes for Frost Nova, freeze the board, push a little bit more face damage. Aaron plays Mountain Gen because you need to keep pressuring this mage, but this game is continuing to go poorly for him. And now the Spellbender, well, that's not so relevant. It eats his Spell Stump, he was just using it to heal up anyways. Logan's probably just content here to draw a little more with Novice Engineer. Although, there is a good amount of damage being featured on this board. Codelight Oracle is probably a little too ambitious right now, but Flame Strike isn't a particularly good clear either, so he is going to go for the Codelight Oracle. Babbling Book's another reasonable pull, and he does assemble the final quest piece in Molten Reflection. So all he has to do now is play a couple more discovered spells to trigger the quest. Forbidden Flame is not particularly relevant right now, and he's just gonna do his best to... Forbidden Flame in fact does actually work pretty well, but for 2 damage to clear out the Mistress of Mixtures and heal him a little bit, he's now just 1 spell away from quest completion. And yeah, this is looking like it's gonna go Logan's way unless a miracle happens for Aaron over here. A second Faceless Manipulator is a great pull, but I just don't think he's gonna be able to pop blocks quickly enough. Except Logan now realizes that with the Doomsayers and miscellaneous stuff, he might not have the board space to complete his quest. No, that's not true. You can sacrifice your 3 small minions and have 5 slots, which is enough, and Logan does realize this, yeah. He's gonna sacrifice minions. There's one more discovered spell here. Yeah, Fireball. So he can drop Wait, so 2 Apprentices is 4 mana. 2 Molten Reflections gonna cost 2 and 1, that's 7. And yeah, he's just gonna Fireball. He could even have Fireball to Doomsayer to clear space if he was legitimately out of space, but he isn't. He gets a free Fireball, that finishes his quest, gets to play quest, and next turn, that is going to be the game. And we're gonna see if Logan goes for the PM Fireball literally everything in sight play.
You require my assistance.
And yep, this match is in fact over. Looks like Logan's probably just, we'll see. At least Aaron's just sitting here and watching Fireball slowly melt his face away. It's a very sad way to go. In my opinion, one of the most tilting way to lose games. Now you're gonna attack with the Apprentice, just gonna slowly cast more Fireballs. And is that BM? I think he started a Fireball Doomsayer, starting a Fireball. Nope, no, he's just gonna set the pace. Good on you, Logan. And that is gonna be a 3-2 victory from Logan. Alrighty. So Logan is now in the winner bracket finals. Congratulations to Logan. Oh, yeah, winner bracket finals, or the overall semifinals. Congratulations to Logan. And I'm